so that people can get out of their head this idea that there's one locus of all powerful, omnicompetent planners orchestrating everything. In other words, it's not the Zionists, it's not the Vatican, it's not the bankers, it's not the Rothschilds. What you have in the international deep state, so to speak, is a mafia.
Yeah.
And around the mafia table, you know, the Dons, think of The Godfather, when all the Dons are getting their rings and they're sitting at the table and they're making their deals, and then they all put their in smoking cigars and sipping brandy and getting along as the best of friends, like at a Bilderberg meeting, and then they all go home and they shoot each other. Okay, that's what's going on.
Right.
There are several factions, and they're all in this mad scramble to be the dominant faction during the end game when they set up their big global government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mr. Putin has other news for him, but that's what's going on.
It's rival factions, right?
It's rival factions. And there are rules of the game.
Right.
There are. Now, where does the Sovereign Military Order of Malta come in? Well, that is essentially the continuation of the Knights Hospitallers.
Right.
All right. And it does have international sovereignty. It is recognized in law, international law. So you can literally travel under a diplomatic passport as a member of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta. Now, here's the interesting thing to those people who don't think this has any tie-in to any modern event. At the time when the Oklahoma City bombing happened, the governor of Oklahoma was a fellow by the name of Frank Keating.
Yep.
All right. And I'd actually corresponded with Governor Keating a couple of times when I was working in the Oklahoma college system at the time. So, you know, a nice guy. He wasn't mean or anything. But interestingly enough, Governor Keating's brother wrote a novel prior to the Oklahoma City bombing where a federal building was bombed. And the guy that performed the deed was a fellow by the name of Tim. Okay?
Right.
And in addition to this, Governor Keating is the guy, one of the people, when they picked up Andreas Strassmeyer in Roland, Oklahoma,
right,
traveling on the interstate without any plates, they put out a bolo alert to pick this guy up. Governor Keating, after he had been picked up by a state trooper and held in the jail, Governor Keating called that particular sheriff and said, "You've got to release him. He's got diplomatic immunity."
Right.
Now, interestingly enough, Governor Keating's a member of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta.
Wow. So, and by the way, that book that you're mentioning, when you open the cover, it says in the cover, there's a dedication to the Knights of the Circle or something.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. I don't remember the
Yeah.
exact phrase. And it's not talking about the Knights of the Golden Circle, but it's saying, you know, dedicated to all my fellow knights, basically.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, this is very powerful. I'll tell you who else was a member of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, and that was Bill Casey, Reagan's CIA director.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was. So, in other words, this is huge. You know, they use these networks very carefully and very deliberately.
And Casey called his agents under him, he called them Templars.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, there's no accident here, and it also makes me think of Breivik and all his Templar regalia and all that, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, deep state games that